For a long time, I was drawing lines on my chart and hoping they'd hold. Support and resistance, supply and demand, price gets to the level, and I'm sitting there watching, waiting to see which way it breaks. No real conviction, no real reason, just a line based on where price had been before. The frustrating part wasn't when the level broke. The frustrating part was that I couldn't tell the difference between a level that had a high probability of holding and one that was likely to just get blown right through. They looked identical on my chart because I was reading price. I wasn't reading the market auction. And those are two completely different things. What's up guys, Matt here, and this is episode 2 of Start Trading with Order Flow, the series that's going to change how you see the market and how you trade it. If you haven't watched episode 1 yet, I recommend going back and watching that first. It covers why most traders never become consistent, and it sets the foundation for everything we're building in this series. Today, we're getting into how the market actually works, not the surface level version, the real version. And by the end of this episode, you're going to understand why the tools most traders use every day are only showing them half the picture. Let's get into it. Supply and demand, support and resistance. If you've been trading for more than 5 minutes, you already know these concepts. And here's what I want to be clear about. They are real and they do matter. I still use them every single day in my trading. The problem isn't the concept. The problem is how most traders apply it. Most traders look at a chart, find a spot where price bounced before, draw a line and call it support. That's it. That's the whole process. And when price gets back to that line, they're essentially just hoping history repeats itself. Sometimes it does and sometimes it doesn't, and they have no way to know which side is likely to occur because they don't understand why that level mattered in the first place. A line on a chart is just where price was. It doesn't tell you why price moved. It doesn't tell you what happened there. It doesn't tell you if it's going to matter again the next time. To understand that, you have to understand what the market actually is. Here's the most important thing that I can tell you about how the market actually works. The market is an auction. That's it. That's the whole thing. Every single day, every single session, price is moving through an auction process. The market is constantly searching for a price where buyers and sellers agree to do business. When price is at a level where both sides are willing to transact, the market accepts that price and spends time there because the market is in balance there. Activity happens and volume builds there. When price moves away from that value, when it gets too high or too low, it may revert back into those areas where the market is balanced. Or if one side of the auction becomes more aggressive and breaks out, price may aggressively move and seek a new area where the market auction is in balance. That's why price moves. Not because of a line on a chart, not because of a pattern, because the auction is constantly searching for value. Every candle on a chart is just a snapshot of that auction process playing out in real time. And once you understand that, you start to see the market completely differently. So how do you actually see the auction? Well, the first tool that I use with price action is a volume profile. Let's get into it. All right, so what we're looking at here is a volume profile chart overlaid on a standard 30-minute candle chart. The light gray section here is the after hours trading and the darker black area is regular trading hours. So I want to point your attention to this is different than a standard volume chart that you would see graphed underneath a candle chart that shows you volume by time. This is showing us specifically volume by price. So these bars represent the total volume transacted by price at this range. The higher the bar, the more volume that's been transacted at that price point during this trading day. So this shows us peaks and valleys of where high amounts of volume are transacted. This is called a high volume node. And it shows us where the market moves aggressively and leaves lower volume areas. This is known as a low volume node. So like we talked about previously, the market is always going through periods of balance and imbalance. And we can see this clearly on a volume profile. For example, here where the market was balanced in this range, and we can see a significant amount of volume transacted here. Now when the market broke out of this area aggressively here, we see this lower volume tail where the price broke aggressively because price did not spend much time there. The market moved very aggressively because these aggressive buyers overtook anyone willing to passively sell at the highs of this balanced range and then broke out aggressively. So when these aggressive buyers overtook the market, price surged very quickly until it found a new area where price was again balanced. And we can once again see this high volume node where price consolidated in this range. So the market is always going through these phases of balance, followed by imbalance if it's broken out of there. And then again, the market has found an area where buyers and sellers are agreeing on price. Now, I'll show you one other thing for the volume profile specifically. We see this line here is known as the value area high. This line here is known as the value area low. And those are showing us where the high and low of where the 70th percentile of all the volume that's been transacted over that day is. So that is a tool that we use as we identify and analyze session ranges and daily ranges in the market on the volume profile. This yellow line in the middle is called the point of control, and that is the point where the most amount of volume has been transacted during that trading day. Now, the key here that I want to point out is how we overlay this understanding of volume and where the market is going through phases of balance and imbalance with key levels of support and resistance, supply and demand. So when we analyze these key areas, it helps give Confluence an added information of where the market is balanced, potentially forming a new demand zone, and where the market is imbalanced and where aggressive participants are taking over. And this shows us very clearly where aggressive participants might defend a pullback in a low volume node, or where the market is balanced and we may see mean reverting plays as the market continues to balance and agree on price in a range, and we fade the highs and lows targeting the middle. All of us gives us very specific information about the auction where real buyers and sellers are, not just a random level on a chart where price bounced in the past, but where real transactions are occurring with volume where money is being placed in the market. Those become real levels with real data backing them, not just a level on a candle chart where price happened to trade at a given time period. So recapping, we see high volume areas where price is balanced. Price is mean reverting around an area where buyers and sellers agree on price. And then we see low volume areas where the market is aggressively overtaken by one side and price makes an imbalanced and aggressive move until it finds a new location where price is again balanced. Then price goes through a mean reverting phase and so on and so forth. What this looks like on volume profiles is bell curve volume distributions in balanced markets and wavier volume profiles in imbalanced markets where the market is consolidating, rallying, or vice versa. This gives us key information about the market auction in addition to simple price action structures. And we can look to use that information to gain deep insights about the market context and locations to filter out high probability setups based on those conditions and locations. Before I understood volume profiles, my support and resistance level were just educated guesses. After that, they had a foundation. I wasn't just marking where price had been, I was marking where the market had found value, and that's a completely different thing. Let me make this concrete. Two traders looking at the same chart. Trader A draws support line because price bounced there 3 months ago, and trader B pulls up a volume profile and sees the same level has a massive high volume node, and the market spent significant time there. Real activity and real volume. Price comes back to that level and trader A is just hoping and guessing. Trader B has a reason and a very specific zone to look at. That's the edge, not some secret indicator, not a special pattern, just understanding what the market is actually telling you versus what you're projecting onto it. And here's what changes when you think this way. You stop treating every single level the same. A high volume node or a low volume node hits very differently than a level in thin air based on price action where price had traded. A rejection at a low volume area makes sense. The market doesn't want to be there and the market participants are very aggressive there. An acceptance in a high volume node makes sense. The market has found value there and is in balance and it's finding value there again. You're not guessing anymore, you're reading. Volume profiles shows you where the market has found value, but it still doesn't show you what's actually happening between buyers and sellers at those levels. Who's aggressive, who's passive, who's absorbing, and who's running out of ammunition. To see that, you need to understand what a transaction actually is. And that's exactly what we're going to get into in episode 3. If this clicked for you today, make sure you like and subscribe so you don't miss the next episodes. I'll see you guys in episode 3.